And I can remember it was back probably into July when Earl caught me, and he said, "Hey, we need to get you down to speak." And I said, "Yeah," and he kind of smiled. We both knew it was hitting football season. But I'm kind of always humbled because I know for me, that's a busy time. And that's just how it is. And it reminds me to always take time for the Lord. And sometimes that's easy to say, hard to do. But I can remember going home whenever Earl told me that. And I was like, I got to look at the theme, because this last time I spoke, I'll be honest, I got caught doing it at the last minute. And I was like, I can't do it at the last minute because I just don't feel right about it. And I get home and I'm searching through, and the topic, be ready. I started laughing. I said, yeah, I need to be ready. And so I kind of forgot about it. I prayed a little bit about it that week, but I knew it was a long ways off. So I thought, well, whenever it gets closer, I'll come back to this topic. And so about 2 weeks ago, went back in and got some ideas for it. And didn't really know, because I have some personal experiences I think I could share, but yet I think the word might be better than my experiences. And so this week, getting ready for it, I knew, man, it's going to be a busy week. Saturday, we got a game. Obviously, you knew it was a big game for us. And Friday night, we got our JV game. Or not JV game. Friday night, we're going to go scout. Thursday night, we got our JV game. Monday through Wednesday, we're going to practice late. And then on top of that, you try to balance a little family time in there, and you go through your daily routine. And you got a couple meetings you got to make. You got people that you're trying to meet up with. And then on top of all that, your 1.5-year-old daughter decided she needs to stay up about 3 hours each night just because she can. And I knew Celinda was tired. She's had a long week. And I thought, I know one of us needs to sleep, and I probably sleep a little bit better at the drop of a hat, where Celinda has to wind down. So I go in there, and the first night it happened, I spent about 45 minutes after Celinda had already spent an hour with her. And I tell you, who's counting, right? And so I spent about 45 minutes, and just like she is right now, sucking on a blanket, not moving, she just fidgeting a little bit. And I'm like, all right, I got her. I'm going to lay her down. I'm going to go back in the room. Her eyes would kind of doze off, and she'd come to and doze off. And so I pick her up, and just the minute I start to set her over the crib, she says, "No, Dad, no." And I thought, Dad, yeah. So I take her back to the room. Long story short, me and Celinda sat there for about an hour and a half listening to her laugh in our bed. And it was just as tired as you think we would have been, it was just like, man, it's peaceful. It's a precious sound. But anyways, I'm not trying to get off on that. Just talking about busy times. And I think we all have busy times. I just shared part of my story, but everybody in here has got those stories. And I think it's always important to come back and remember the Lord. And whenever I had first read Be Ready, I thought back to my Boy Scout days. And the Boy Scout motto was be prepared. And I tell you, if you was with me throughout the day, you're probably like, boy, you're not prepared. But I think something that I got from my dad, and it's always fun to go back and work with him because we talk about stuff whenever I grew up and raising kids and stuff. And now that I'm a father, relating with that. And I was talking to him, I said, it was always good. Even though it was organized chaos, it was good to experience it. And he said, well, hopefully you got some efficiency out of it. And it was. I really felt like we did more stuff than the average person. But I knew we were going to head out of town, get over that first bridge, and turn around because we forgot something. And whenever we was back, we leave town again. And before we got to that bridge, we had to turn around and go get something. But once we left town, we knew we weren't going back till after sun went down. And that was just part of being efficient. And Dad always reminded me to be ready. So who doesn't love a good wedding? Even during Jesus' time, weddings were very special events. So special that even leaders like scribes were allowed the day off to celebrate. The parable Jesus shares in Matthew would have been a story very familiar to the people during this time, coming out of their own wedding experiences. The parable begins with 10 bridesmaids who took lamps and went to meet their bridegroom. Their job was to escort him and the bride from her house to his house, where they would start their new life. Bless you. God bless you. It was common for such procession to happen in the middle of the night. The bridesmaids did not know exactly when the couple would make the celebrated journey to their new home. So a little setting for the parable coming from Matthew 25, 1 through 13. At the time, and right before this, it's about for Jesus' second coming. But at that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones took their lamps, but did not take any oil with them. The wise ones, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in waiting, and they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight, the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Then all the virgins got up, trimmed their lamps. The foolish one said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil. Our lamps are running out." "No," they replied, "there may not be enough for you and us. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." But while they were on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later, the others also came. "Lord, Lord," they said, "open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day nor the hour." Half of the bridesmaids took lamps with no oil in them, which left them unprepared, and the bridegroom should arrive during the night. That'd be almost like Omar and his team at the fire department showing up to a blazing fire with no water. That wouldn't be very smart.
No.
The wise ones were prepared, kind of like Omar and his team, and brought along oil for their lamps. As everyone started to fall asleep around midnight, the bridesmaids were alerted that the bridegroom was coming. Those without oil begged to share, but were told they did not have enough. While 5 went out to search for the oil, the bridegroom and those who were prepared, while 5 went to search for the oil, the bridegroom came, and those that were prepared went in with him. Those that were not able, and were not recognized by Jesus. And he admonished them to keep awake, for you know neither the day nor the hour. Those were the words from Jesus. The important event about that was that the wise ones knew what was going to happen. How many times in our days and in our lives we know the event that's going to happen? That is a parable with rather clear, undisputed symbolism. The bridegroom is Jesus. The bridesmaids represent the church. The bridegroom arrival is the second coming of Christ. Having oil represents what will be most important at the second coming. It was deeds of love and mercy. Jewish traditions tell us that they used oil for their deeds of mercy and for good deeds. Ephesians 2:8 reminds us, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not as a result of works, that no one should boast." To summarize the symbolic meaning of the parable, we could say that the church is called to be prepared for Christ coming again through responsible acts of love and mercy. This is not something that can be borrowed from someone else, like the bridesmaids tried to borrow the oil at the last minute. Rather, it is our responsibility to respond, for we know not when we will see Jesus again. We are called to be prepared by loving God and loving our neighbor. By loving God and loving our neighbor. And that neighbor doesn't just go for the one next door, for those that we come in contact with. every single day. Be ready, because you never know. Christians, Mark. Get set. Go.
Let's close by singing hymn number 651.
And the love I will erase the lines of prejudice. I will share the valleys of my name. To answer this, my heart is touching me. Here in my sin. Peace and harmony. I will share peace that Jesus for me. Nations can be courage on my thoughts. My eyes rises to your sin. It was all great that's all about my sin. Now joy is coming back together. You act as yours. There's not so far. Here am I standing. Inspiration, gentle hands and out. And renew all of us in your love and goodness, that you help each other's lives, so that we may share all the goodness you have bestowed upon us, with all that you have created. For all this grace and goodness, we give you thanks, Lord. Amen. At this time, I would like to, for all of us, to special prayer to all our veterans. Let's take one moment of silence and pray to
Yeah. Use that right here. You get I'm on to you. Well, it was a delightful.
Internet went out. Yeah, for a little bit. Neighbors. They get it back.
Getting the talk for you.
We're gonna honor ourselves.
That's talk.
If you sing something, you gotta sing something because Dad's gotta go to work. We don't sing.
I will be here and there and everywhere. Be there also. Maybe we'll be there first. We have all the seats, all the chairs on the field. You guys see
What song was that?
It may have been innovation.
All right, Cameron, you gotta.
I don't touch
On tonight.
Yay, good job.
I couldn't pass the metal test.
I thought about it. I was like, going to 75, and I was close, and I did.
You know what?
Like, I saw those guys did. Now they went through college, now the rest of them struggling. And,
I did that,
yeah. Like it's.
Probably.
She's
You don't have hug?
But I was,
I'm like,
I
yeah.
all these
You can make it. It is, that's what I'm and then we went in.
That's
So actually, the bell rang, go out in the hall where everybody
Well, I don't know, but.
Emmy, we like hearing you sing. You were doing a great job. Yeah, you were good. Oh, no. So how do I do my copy and stuff? Very good, Craig. Very good.
Oh, yeah. But then,
I know. I helped you out with the design. I've learned them with the car. Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only work in
No, I'm doing a contract. Yeah, they heard you turn my head. Yeah, this guy really takes your time. I'm born and raised. Very nice. I never put much away. People say, yeah, I know what yes. My residence.
I'm more than willing to consider because they call it. I would like to go on. Good cheerleader.
Oh, yeah. I would love to go Special day that day on Thursday. Okay.
Oh, very good. Hello there. I'm sorry.
Yes, I just had Brazil.
Yeah, I know, great.
Yeah, you there?
Oh, there you go.
Well, and first of all, I don't speak. Well, that's true. But they have some difference. I would never be able to have take the credit for one single. It's pretty expensive. That's why
But we have oh, that's what you're saying.
All three of them actually.
I didn't go to I couldn't have been upset. Yeah, where's my guess?
Very close.
And most of it goes. Well, you know what?
You're very what you do with it. What does it change? Nice.
So how long will it
Yeah, I know. Well, it's only.
That's my goal.
But I
Because the baby conservation.
Now we know where it's at. You ready, guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Geez, I'm going down and get mine. Whatever it is, I'm going to get it.
I know you have been there.
I am too, so I guess I Yeah. I'll remind you that every time I see Carol. When she goes, I have to wait. Yeah.
Okay, you ready to go? Let's go there.
Reggie, don't you get me?
Okay. Well, we have to ask because we don't want.
Fully watching.
Oh, there we go. We don't want you to feel like, oh, we need some grease and salt. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Our birthday got that chicken basket.
Oh, they
You got it.
Good to see you, Chrissy. This is gorgeous. Wow. You birthday. No, they are. I so much.
See what I'm looking at for this late.
I like rocks.
My dad needs to spend a rock now.
I should have been rock. Yeah, to be here, no man library, he's cutting the stones, faceting and everything, so. I was telling him all about stones. Taking the animals
Oh,
to moose dump.
yeah, my dad needs
He
to.
broke 3 days. Yeah, of course. That's the first meeting.
Last weekend.
Yeah, sure.
She's not here, I'm just down here.
Yeah.
Came on, so I-
Big old
Can you take the box?
travel rock,
It's like we're-
big rock salt. My dad.
Yeah, Yeah.
Big slabs.
Yeah. Here's my car. I just wanted to be like.
Yep, I forgot.
Give you one time.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright.
Got your power.
Hi, I'm Chrissy. This is my daughter Charlotte.
Hi.
Mississippi. I grew up in.
She's hospital now for 3 days.
Oh, okay.
She's one of the people that bring them up. And you make
And she's good.
Wow, they really helped you, didn't they?
Well, I have to say that you're not quite up to speed yet. It's just your first day home, maybe you'll be up to half on the block.
Ready to count tonight?
I think so.
Yeah, count it.
Well, that means.
Change in there.
To the door, we'll build you up a little bit at a time.
Got some change in there too. Well, Carol did this.
I did.
Yeah. Carol. Well, that's good. Done. Jason.
Let me get my calculator out. Ready for action. Calculator ready. Piece of paper. And pencil. Pencil. You used to have a pencil in here. The last one. That's the last one. Over 60. $460. What? See that nice pen? I think that's the one too. What? Yeah. Now we go get some. Already turn off PA. Off system go.
So.
Yeah, turn this off.